Hi guys, Steph here. Let me show you something. A Summit fountain pen, to be precise. Take a look at this gorgeous pen. This is the Summit S-175. It's one of the pens within the what they termed as the S range within the Summit range of pens from around about the 1930s. Now this one, the 175, was actually the flagship pen within the S series. Now they brought them out in a couple of colours, this one being this lovely sort of classic black colour with this gorgeous chase pattern on it, and they also brought them out in lovely lizard skinned patterns. I believe there was an olive green, emerald green, there was a turquoise blue, copper, and I believe a magenta, all, as I say, in a lizard skin pattern. But this one, as we said, is this gorgeous, very handsome, classic black Summit S-175. From the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, it's around about 130 millimeters capped. Around the barrel, it's a tad over 12 millimeters in diameter. And, well, as you can see, a very handsome, gorgeous pen indeed. Now, as far as the Summit's concerned, some people will never have heard of Summit pens. In my opinion, the Summit pens from the 1930s onwards, they were just as good, and in some cases I honestly believe better than some of the major manufacturers of the period, i.e. Conway Stewart, Waterman's, etc. They were very well made, quality made pens. Now, as you can see, this one is a lever fill. It's got this quite a sort of slim lever to the pen there. Let's show you the barrel imprint, which reads Summit, and then it's got the model number S-175, and then underneath made in England. So a nice British fountain pen, and I believe the pens were made by Lang & Company of Liverpool. Now I won't go into the history because it's a long history with names, etc. But suffice to say, Lang & Company from Liverpool in England. Now if we take it up to the cap, let's show you the cap. You can see it's got these two sort of rather narrow cap bands to the bottom of the cap there. And then let's take it up to this gorgeous clip here. Okay, there's a sideways view, and you can see it's got this what we term as a stepped clip. Now for me personally, it always reminds me very much of sort of an Art Deco design. Well, yeah, from sort of the 1930s, I think that was getting to the end of the sort of Art Deco period, but in my opinion, very sort of Art Deco-y in design. To the very top there, we can see we've got this slightly peaked sort of jewel, if you like, to the very top of the cap, which sort of matches the peaked end of the barrel, as you can see there. Now let's unscrew the cap for you. Let's show you the pen in different angles. Now this pen came to me from, well, it's Alberto's pen, and he sent it to me to have it serviced. We've put a new sack in it. We've sort of adjusted the nib slightly, hopefully, so we'll take a look at that in a moment. But yeah, it's Alberto's pen. He sent it to me, so I hope you're happy with the pen, Alberto. So let's take you up to the section there. You can see this lovely sort of slightly tapered section towards the nib, and then we've got this sort of little ridge to the top there. And then let's take you to the nib. Now sort of around about the 1930s, it was when actually Summit they installed this large nib, and as you can see it says Summit 14 karat gold, and then to the bottom made in England. So it's actually quite a large nib. Okay, now just to give you a little bit of a comparison, let me just bring this on for you, and there you go. You can see you've got the Summit nib to the left, and then we've got the Conway Stewart Euro nib, which again in its time was the largest nib that Conway Stewart actually used. So you can see the Summit nib to your left, I would say it's just a tad larger. I think the shoulders, if you look at the shoulders, it's a little bit wider than the Conway Stewart, but as you can see it's a lovely large nib. Okay, so we thought we'd give you that little bit of a comparison, and then again let's come back to the nib. So we've got this large Summit nib, there's a sideways view. Let's show you the feed underneath there. You can see sort of a very sort of standard ladder feed, what we term as a ladder feed from the period. Okay, and as we said, from the period 1930s, I believe the pen or this particular model may have gone through to even as far as maybe the 1950s, but all in all a gorgeous, handsome fountain pen. And as you can see, I've got very large hands and it fits very nice indeed, nice and comfortable in my hand. Shall we see how it writes? Yes, why not indeed. Okay, so let's bring on some ink. Let's get our finger nail under the lever, pop it in the ink, and I'm sure you could hear that lovely bubbling noise. Let's just reach over and get some tissue, just give it a little bit of a wipe. Let's get our little writing pad and let's see how the pen writes. So what we have is a Summit 175 fountain pen from, as we said, around the 1930s, again made by Lang & Company, and it's actually writing nicely, as you can see there. Does it have any flecks? No, but it looks like it may have a stub nib, because you can see by sort of the downward stroke I'm actually getting a broader line on the downward stroke, so I would say we've got what we term as a stub nib. Now if I just gently lean it in the fingers, and what we're trying to do here is, it's very difficult to do, there we go, you can see the pen is still writing with its own weight, but as you can see it's just writing a little bit drier than with the normal pressure. The reason I'm doing this is Alberto said that he'd like the ink flow quite wet because he writes with a light hand, so looking at this I need to adjust it a little bit more to get a little bit better ink flow, so we'll do that once we've finished the video. But there we go, that's with my hand writing lovely, and again with what I believe to be a stub nib. So let's pop the cap back on, And there we have it. A gorgeous, handsome fountain pen. This is the Summit S-175. Sorry, one thing I've not actually mentioned, I should have mentioned at the beginning, this is actually the Mark 1. What I'll do at the end of the video, I'll leave you a link to a Mark 2 version. So this one is the Mark 1. Now, if you're interested in Summit pens, the history, they're very, very much underrated in my opinion. They made superb pens. But why not go on Facebook? There's a Summit group page on Facebook. Go and join that. Plenty of information, plenty of pictures, etc. Everything to do with Summit. So if you're interested, pop to Facebook and why not join. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen as much as I enjoy showing them to you. Don't forget, leave a comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel. Give the video a thumbs up. And don't forget, people, wherever you are around the world, please stay safe. But for now, I'll just say bye-bye for now.